Hey, what's going on, everybody? Grant here from CMG Home Loans, mortgage lender, and real estate investor. And I'm here with a special guest, good friend of mine, Eddie. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Name's Eddy Gibbs. Like Grant said, do a lot of real estate, retired veteran, and a father of four. So just hanging out, trying to have some fun.
Let's go. Happy to have you here. Let's just jump right into it. We were having a really good conversation yesterday about how you like to structure your day. So I want to kind of go ahead and pick your brain, have you dive in, and kind of take the lead on this one.
Sure, yeah. I think how you start your day, how you structure your day is very important. And it builds consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And so the goal is to be consistently consistent. So I like to do what I call just block scheduling.
Yeah.
And from 8 to 12. Typically in that time frame, whether it's at 8 or 10 o'clock, but from 8 to 12, I try to do my prospecting, get all my calls in, do all my follow-ups and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very important, especially for my side of the business. You're always looking for new buyers, new sellers, and people that want to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then following up that, I take a nice little lunch break, 12 to 1. And then from the rest of the day, I can take care of all my emails, respond to all those, all my admin, take care of all that. And then social media and all the fun stuff,
That's right.
afterwards. So,
Yeah. Probably like appointments and stuff like that too later on in the day.
All the appointments come after 1 o'clock. So
Right. Okay.
after one, typically if I have appointments, I try to make them for 2 and then, sometime after, because again, in my line of work, people are at work. So that's typically the best times to get a hold of them is, later in the evening.
Yeah, typically when they're like maybe on lunch or maybe like once they're off work, it's a
Yep.
great time to have an appointment with them. And for the listeners that are watching in terms of appointments, that's mostly listing appointments that you're on, right?
Yeah. So, a lot of my prospecting is, buyers sellers, for sale by owners who
Mm-hmm.
are trying to sell their home on their own or expireds. I specialize and I do a really good job of, doing what the others didn't do before me, learning from those mistakes, and then showing these sellers how to take advantage and learning from your mistakes. Knowledge is power.
Yep.
So, once you have the answers for the test, now just apply it. So I really show them, how that works. So a lot of listings and, it's fun. I really enjoy it.
That's good, man. Yeah, and I think it's important that you're getting the prospecting done in the first half of the day because, quite frankly, in the field of real estate, that is the most important activity that's going to generate income and generate future business is your prospecting efforts.
Yep.
As soon as you turn that faucet off, the business just dries up. And with
does.
real estate, it's like delayed gratification. So you might not see it in the short, like 30 to 60 days, but after 90 days, you're going to be like, man, where'd all my clients go?
Mm-hmm.
And, a big attribute is that is like, how hard are you prospecting and how, intentional are you about that time?
Yeah, 100%. And what I think would really help a lot of people is they may not realize it. And, a lot of us say we're not morning people, but typically when you wake up, you're going to have the most energy because you were just resting.
Mm-hmm.
You want to prospect when you have the most energy. You want to be the most alive during this time period. This is where you make your money.
That's right.
So, I always tell people, like, you wake up, get that coffee, do whatever routine it is, and attack, why you have the most energy. So
I like that.
Yep.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you also kind of like to work out in the beginning of the day too, or did you move that to the end of the day as well?
So it all depends, with the block. Like again, with the block scheduling, some weeks are with the monsters, and then weeks without the
all
monsters.
The kids, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So then I can change it up, sometimes. So then I will go in the morning, and I like doing that too because sometimes when I go in the morning, then I actually will change my calls from 4 to 6 p.m.
Right.
So then it's also a good change. On my body and my mental, just like in the gym, you want to shock your body when you're working out to get different results.
That's right.
So same thing with the phone is, I'm going to call a different time, shock that, get different results.
That's good. I like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I can take a page out of your book. I don't know if you can agree with me on this, but I feel like with real estate, there's so much you can focus on and so much stuff you can do. Mm-hmm. But I think I could do a better job of time blocking and disciplining myself to really get those prospecting calls done in the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
Because that's non-negotiable.
Exactly.
Once that's out of the day, you can focus on everything else. Emails can wait.
Yep.
For the most part, your clients can wait up to 24 hours. It's nothing urgent to the point where it's going to kill a deal or something's going to happen.
Yep.
So I like that. And I definitely want to implement that. Start my day off with a bang when I have the most energy, just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And I think people are more receptive, to phone calls in the morning as opposed to later in the day when they're already kind of getting home from work.
Yep.
They're tired. They don't want to do anything. Yeah, even though it is a good time to catch them, like you said, kind of break that mold of just calling in the morning, I can see the benefit of calling in the beginning of the day. Actually, oddly enough, there was a book I was reading, and they had a really funny and interesting study. They were in court, and they were judging how favorable the decisions were from the judge, and they realized that there was a correlation to the point where they had their last sandwich, how a judge was going to judge the conflicts and what type of decision that's going to come from it.
Right.
So I think on top of prospecting, I think best times to call would be in the morning, right after you woke up, and right after they ate, and maybe call a little bit after lunch. You know what I mean? Because they're happy, they're halfway through the day. They just had like a meal, so they're finally they're not hangry anymore.
Right.
So that could be like a good thing to implement as well. You know?
Absolutely. And one thing I will add that I think is so overlooked, and I invite anyone who ever wants this experience, is do it with a partner. Find someone.
We've done that before.
Yes.
Yeah. We should do it more. We need to do more of it.
I'm in. Yeah. I'm all about it. I love
accountability.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Exactly. And we're humans. We're animals. We're better in herds. We
That's
want
true.
camaraderie. We want relationships. We want all that. So like when you're doing this with other people, you don't feel alone. You don't feel like you're doing it by yourself, right? So
yeah, definitely.
And you make it more fun, and you're learning from one another.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing. Like people that just aren't good at it, just go do it with someone who is, and just listen to them, and just watch.
Yeah,
what is that gonna hurt, right?
Like you said,
and ask questions. That's it.
Yeah, like you said, you can kind of pick something up. I know you're a killer on the phones. You're really good at talking to people. You got a really good follow-up system, so I can definitely learn from that. And I think the other thing is in real estate, a lot of people are kind of like solo agents. And even if they are a part of the team, a lot of times they probably work remote or they're out in appointments.
Yep.
So, for you to make the time and then commit yourself to do it, yes, it's so much easier when you have another person and it's on the calendar and you're like, I'm going to get this done no matter what.
Right.
Because the other person's counting on me to do it, right? So
yeah.
I like that.
Yep. And it's law of averages, right? You have to expect no. But if you just stop and think about it, every no it sounds, I don't want to say negative, but it doesn't sound smart, but you're just closer to a yes every no you hear.
That's true.
Which is, it's like so silly to say, but it's the God honest truth. You're just one step closer. So, I believe in it. I do it every day. It's almost part of my daily routine. I try to make calls every day. It's unrealistic to be able to do it every day just with stuff happening. And sometimes you have priorities, but I actually enjoy it. And when you change the mentality and find a way to enjoy it, you'll get that instant gratification.
Yeah.
Where you talk about, real estate's long term. It's not. I'm happy for just any appointment that I make.
Yeah.
For me, it's not about getting a deal. For me, honestly, it's about getting an appointment, because that gets me one step closer to mastering, my appointments.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've almost mastered the phone call. Right. So I can do the phone call like that. I could teach now, 10,000 hours of something you master. Now I need 10,000 hours of appointments.
That's it. Yeah.
So that's the way I see it. And it excites me just talking about it.
It is exciting. Yeah. It's opportunities.
Yeah.
And the phone calls get you to the appointments.
Exactly.
It's all along the pipeline.
Yep.
It's like the phone call set the appointments set the opportunity. And then whether it's a listener or a buyer, that's how you get the deal done, closed, and then that's one of your past clients. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think staying in front of your past clients is a really important thing that a lot of people overlook.
Yep.
I know a lot of people out there don't like making prospecting calls. What would you, what type of advice or, what would you say to those type of people that are like, I don't like it, it makes me uncomfortable, I'm going to find another way to get business? What would you say to those people?
Again, I try to keep it so basic. Look yourself in the mirror and just be as real as you can be. What is it that I'm afraid of to make that call? Because something is holding you back, and you're the only person that knows what it is. And just face it. Yep. Just face it and do it. I promise you, it doesn't kill you. And the more you do something, the better you'll get at it.
That's it.
I say this all the time. Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
I love that quote. That's the best quote ever. That's so good.
You have to do it.
Yeah, I say that all the time. Yeah.
So that's what I tell people. I know, because it's a fear thing. That's all it is. It's fear, confidence, insecurity.
Fear of rejection, I think, probably, right?
It could be. That's probably the main one, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be good enough.
I don't know what to say.
I'm going to mess up.
I'm annoying them, right?
But I'm sorry. Like I said, in those hours and hours of me making calls, I made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of mistakes.
Yeah.
But then you slowly learn from those mistakes to get better and better. So
that's it.
I know it just at its core, just face the fear.
That's it.
Look yourself in the mirror and say, I can do it.
Yeah. I think, and then if you get past that fear, you're going to soon realize that all of the good things in life are on the outside of your comfort zone.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Those things that you're avoiding and don't want to do is what's going to push you forward in your career and your life. Right?
Yes.
Something interesting, I was talking to one of the investors in my mastermind group, and you were kind of listing off a couple of the reasons for why people are, don't want to make calls or makes them uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you do something that makes you, maybe you're getting ready to do the phone calls or the cold calls and you don't want to do them, try to keep track of all those negative thoughts that you have in your head, like, oh, I'm going to annoy the person, and then flip it to the opposite and say, I'm helping this person get an opportunity to move on with their life.
Yeah.
Or say, maybe this person doesn't want to hear from me. Maybe they've been waiting for someone to call them to help them with this problem that they can't solve. You know what I mean? Or hey, this person's going to reject me. No, this person is going to take my call, and then we're going to have a great working relationship and make something happen.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's a cool mindset to have, right?
I'm so with you, and I actually take that mindset to the phones. So, a lot of people are like, oh, I get hung up on, people cuss me out, this and this and that. Every time that happens, I chuckle and I'm just like, man, their day must have been that bad. They had to let it out on a stranger. They don't know me. They're not mad at me.
Right.
And I just remind myself, and it's every time I've done that, I'm like, I'm going to be honest. I'm like, damn, Eddy Gibbs showing some growth here. Okay.
I like that. Yeah.
You know what they say, you get a little wiser as you get older. Yeah.
That's it.
So honestly, you do change that mentality. And once you do that, it makes it fun. I don't know. I think it's fun. Others,
I think so.
They run.
It's like a numbers game with sales. And I think the best advice for that is so what? Be a goldfish. The goldfish is the happiest animal in the animal kingdom because they have a short attention span. Something happens, they forget about it instantly. And if we can take that and do that in our line of work, it kind of makes it easier to move along and you keep doing it.
Absolutely. Yep.
Make it fun, right?
Yes. It's in my low signature on my email. Mm-hmm. Work hard, play harder.
That's right.
Yeah. That's the way I see it. So
that's the way you like to work.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to understand, a lot of these people that you're working with, they're not taking it out on you, but it's very emotional. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, and then money involved, and God only knows what's going on in their lives. So,
right. Yeah.
As soon as you realize that and stuff, it does make it easier, and you can rationalize and move forward.
Yeah, give people that benefit of the doubt. You don't know what they're going through.
Absolutely.
So you just got to be nice, respectful, and approach it as you're knowledgeable and you can help them solve a problem that they may or may not have.
Yep. So moving on, I wanted to kind of touch base with you on social media in today's age.
Okay. It's always changing.
Yep.
Yeah. There's so much going on.
Me being the old man in the room.
Yeah.
Obviously, social media.
He just looks young. All right.
Yeah.
Don't let his face fool you. Yeah.
But that's one of the things that I'm trying to get to the next level, is just being more consistent or just being more on social media. So tell me what social media is to you, kind of in this new age that we're in.
Sure. Yeah, I think the first thing we should touch on is the importance of social media, because I don't know if you guys notice this when you're walking around in public or if you're one of these people, but a lot of people are just over there on their phone scrolling their life away. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And if you ever look on your iPhone, they have a option in your settings called screen time. Mm-hmm. I don't know. This is a good exercise for everybody. Go on your phone and open up your settings and take a look at your screen time and take inventory of how much time you're spending on these platforms throughout the day. Have you done this before?
I haven't.
You haven't? All right. So this is going to be fun. When we get off this recording, go ahead and check your phone and kind of look at your averages from the last week of how much time you're spending on what apps,
Okay.
And I'll admit it, I'm guilty of this. Sometimes I'll look on my phone and I'll have an hour on Facebook and 40 minutes of Instagram, and I'm like, damn, that's an hour and 40 minutes. I could have been creating content, chasing my dreams, spending time with my family, working on a project, and that adds up and compounds over time. Mm-hmm. With our lifestyle, we work full time. We're probably putting in 8 to 10 hours a day of work. Then after that, commuting, we have family that we take care of. You have 4 kids. I just had a son. And then just all the other things in life of you having your passions or going to the gym or just being a human being, it's time consuming. Yep. So those 2-3 hours that we have are vital and crucial, to keep to ourselves and not pay our attention to social media platforms, because When something is free, the currency that you're paying them is your time, which is
Mhm.
a resource that you can't get back. Now, I'm not saying social media is all bad. I find a
Right.
lot of great stuff on there, but I just wanted to make that point because if so many people are spending so much time on these platforms, that pretty much gives you an idea of the importance of them, how reliable people are on there, like how much they use them and how much they need them and how addicting they are. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And whereas that might be like a pitfall where I might be going on social media more than I like, I can flip that script, think the opposite, and say like, hey, how can I capitalize off of
Right.
this? Right?
Yep.
And I know people say it all the time in real estate, social media, do this, film videos, post content, like, yeah, and I don't want to be that guru that says like, yeah, keep doing it, but it's here to stay. It's only getting more addicting, and the
Mhm.
younger generations are getting more and more dependent on social media.
Mhm.
So you might as well spend your
Yep.
time going on there and getting established. And here's my other point of the importance is the fact that before somebody has a conversation with you, calls you, or sends you an email, they're going to look you up on social media to get an idea of who you are, to see if they can
Mhm.
trust you, if you're relatable to them. And the more content you have out there, the more social proof that you have to show clients. Like if you had the
Right.
option to work with someone and you've been like watching their YouTube channel for like years and you watch their Instagrams and you like take notes on their content, you're already building that established trust between you and the client before you guys even had a conversation. So then the segue, whenever they reach out to you or you make an outreach to them, it's already a warm lead. And I
Mhm.
don't know about you, but in my shoes, I'll take a warm lead over a cold lead any day
Oh yeah.
because there's just like you don't have to build the trust or like build
Mhm.
the rapport, and they kind of like already know that you're a professional, you're established in the field, and you know what you're doing. And social media can be that tool to get you there,
Yeah. No,
right?
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Um, I actually got I got a deal out of the blue from Instagram, and this was like a year ago.
Yeah.
And my presence is not large on there at all. But
Mm-hmm.
someone from Utah saw me acting a fool,
Right.
and it's like, oh, this guy's hilarious.
Yep.
She worked for the same company, reached out, hey, I have someone that lives in your area. Do you mind helping them? Turns out, no lie, 4 roads from my home.
Yeah.
Like, so I could walk to their home
Oh my
in
God,
my
that's
neighborhood.
crazy.
It was so crazy, but
That's a
like,
coincidence.
yeah,
Yeah.
but social media got me that lead. And, long story short, it went well, So I'm with you. I'm in. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I promise you, I'm all over it.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
but honestly, like I personally love being behind the camera just because, like, even as a kid, I love making people laugh. I like being a
Yeah.
performer. Like,
Yep.
just
You
I
play
don't know.
sports your whole life too.
Exactly.
You're an athlete. You do
Hmm.
CrossFit competitions and
Yeah.
stuff.
As a kid, I've always wanted attention. I didn't care if it was good, bad, or indifferent.
Same. Yeah.
I just wanted the attention. So, like, I love doing it. Consistency on that for me is where I struggle. Where like, oh, I'm great at making phone calls, but yeah, I'm not consistent on like, hey, got to do this, got to do this, got to post, got to post.
Right.
So that's where I have to, learn from, those experts there.
Yeah, it's a lot of work too. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like a whole other job if you don't have a system in place,
Right.
right? And I think a lot of things people don't like being on camera, right?
That's fair.
What advice would you give to people that don't like being on camera, that don't like being the center of attention?
Uh,
Opposite of us, complete opposite.
what advice would I give? I mean, I guess the more you get behind, honestly, what I said earlier, the more you do it, you get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Like that's my like. It's
that's
not
just great life advice, period.
right.
Yeah,
And like I can sit here and say, well, I'm not uncomfortable doing it. Well, I'm uncomfortable in some way, shape, or form because I'm not doing it more.
right.
Right. So I gotta go look myself in the mirror and be like, Eddie, what is it that is stopping you
Right.
from being consistent? So like, is it my fear that, hey, I'm not going to be able to be what I want to be? I'm going to let people that like what is, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what it comes down to for me.
I do want to touch on that because I think we were talking about earlier how you shouldn't compare yourself to other people on social media. Do you want to
Amen.
expand on that a
Yes,
little bit?
yes.
Okay.
So like, I think so. I'm going to put this in gym terms first, just because that's so relatable for me. It's something I always tell people now because it was me when I was younger. But like, I go to CrossFit, right?
Yeah.
And people look at CrossFit like, oh no, like it's a cult, blah, 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 whatever.
A little bit.
Yeah,
bit.
like all of it for me,
Yeah.
it's a mental playground.
Yeah.
And that's what CrossFit is. People
Yeah.
think it's physical. No. CrossFit is a mental playground, plain and simple. And you see everybody going there and they're so intimidated and they're comparing themselves to these athletes who were them years ago or months ago or weeks ago, right? And it's like, guys, stop comparing yourself to everyone else around you and compare yourself to yourself, where you were, where you started, and look at that growth and then appreciate it. Because that's the thing. We don't ever appreciate what we've accomplished, because then it's looking at the next goal. How do we accomplish that, right? So, stop comparing yourself to others. We're all guilty of it, right?
That's right.
So once you learn that and you just focus on like where you've come from, where you've gone, and that's what I do. I always go back. Literally like 3 weeks ago, I was going back showing friends, making fun of myself of like the videos I posted where like you could see, and I'm like, just the video quality, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe nobody even told me, like, Eddie, like, what are you doing? Like, and shame on all of you who allowed it for all this time. Like, geez, I look at it now and I'm just like, I really don't have friends. They just like, oh, Eddie's an idiot. So
that's so funny.
But
what I will say, I like that you took the initiative. You got uncomfortable being you got comfortable being uncomfortable, and that you had taken the step to do it. I think perfect is the opposite of done. So if you spend all this time perfecting the process, perfecting like the way you talk on camera, perfecting like the angles or like the lights, by the time you've already done that, it's gonna be 2 years down the road, and the other person that just started doing it, they already got a workflow and they kind of figured it out along the way.
No, I think that is paralysis by analysis, whatever.
Oh yeah, analysis by paralysis.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of people struggle with.
Yes. And to be honest, I felt like I had some of that at first, but then once I was like at the point, I was like, I don't care. Like, I just got to get it out there.
Yeah.
And like, and it's really cool too, is because like you'll know too. People will let you know too, like, oh, Eddie, that was good, that was great, that was hilarious. And if you don't hear that, then okay, so that one didn't work.
Yeah.
But like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, learn from it, right? So, I'm with you. I'm trying. I'm trying to get in there. So yeah, I love it. But social media, I think you're right. It's not going anywhere. My kids, 10,
already on there.
Yeah. Don't start.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Don't start. Yeah. I have always watch it. They'll watch Minecraft videos. They'll watch, the game videos and all that stuff. Just
Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite.
Just nonsense. So
yeah,
I get it. Like it's television. It's entertainment.
It's entertainment for us too.
Time is money.
Yeah,
time is money.
It's a currency.
And here's the thing. The thing too is like you said something like check your phone, look at your screen time. And the thing is, like you said, I'm sure the population is going to lean more heavily towards that social media platform.
Yep.
But that's, like you said, that's just more evidence, though, unfortunately, for people in our shoes.
Yeah.
We got to put more stuff on those platforms.
Yeah.
Because that's where everyone is going.
Yeah.
So, hey, double-edged sword.
That's it.
But I'm ready to fight.
Yeah, use it to our advantage and capture their market share.
Yeah.
Establish that credibility and just make some good content.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's a good segue into the next portion, is kind of like the process. Because you were saying, I'm looking to learn on how to expand on social media, make it a little bit easier, make it more consistent.
Yep.
And I've been working on this a little bit recently. Actually, that's a huge reason for why we have this podcast studio set up, is so we can make content so much more easier, right?
Awesome room, by the way.
Yeah.
Love it. Great job.
Yeah, and you wouldn't believe it. It cost us less than $600 to do it, and about 3 hours to set everything up. And look how professional this looks.
Yeah, it looks great. I love it.
I'm at a news station or a studio somewhere. You know what I mean?
You make us look good.
Yeah.
Great job on you.
Just wait until you see the quality afterwards. You're going to be amazed. Yeah. It's just like the background just makes it so much easier to look established, official, knowledgeable. This stupid little sign, these stupid little panels make me look like I know what I'm talking about, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a huge reason for why we set up the studio. Of course, we want people to come in here. You can use it for a podcast, a short video, for meetings, whatever you want. Sky's the limit. But the process that I set up is really, really convenient. It's very automated, and it takes away a lot of the burden of creating the content. There's 3 steps to making content in my book. I think the first step is filming the content, having something good to talk about. You're clearly already there, so that's more than half the battle. The second step is editing the content, which that is a beast of its own. Putting captions, putting lighting. It's tough. It's a lot of work.
That's the hardest part for
Nobody likes doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's great. It would be great if we could just outsource it, right? And then the third step, which is also challenging, this is the part that I struggle with the most. was getting the content out there. So I would crush it with the recording. I'd make something, that people would want to watch, want to listen to. And then I could edit it, make the edit look really good because I know how lighting works. I know how to edit the videos on whatever platform I'm using. And then I found out I had a roadblock with getting the content scheduled and out there, right? Just like making the copywriting for the caption, putting the hashtags, adding it to 5 different platforms. That's where the roadblock was for me. When I eliminated that roadblock, it became very easy, and that's the process I want to talk about. So step 1, set up a room. You don't even have to have a professional setup. You can just get some good lighting next to a window or maybe next to a little ring light that you have. Film the content. That's step number 1. A lot of people can't get past that, but you'll be good with that, right? No problems there. Step 2 is going to be editing the content. That's where it gets tricky for people, and that's where I want to come in with a tip. There is an incredible AI editing software called Opus Clip, spelled O-P-U-S, Opus Clip. I would really recommend everyone to go on there and check it out. The membership's like $10 or $15 a month, but it is totally worth it. And here is why. It takes your video. We're going to record probably like a 30-minute video, and it takes that video and then it clips it up into like 30, 60, 90-second clips. And you'll upload it, give it like 10 minutes, and you'll come back and there'll be like 50 videos for you right then and there. There's captions, there's edits, the frames are adjusted. Some of them are like vertical frames, some of them both are you in the frame, whatever you want, right?
Right.
So that's, I feel, would help you a lot with editing to get the captions and the video editing in there. That's done. So that's how you solve that problem. And then the problem that I had solved with Opus Clip is they have a scheduling platform called Plan Social. And what I love about this platform is you can connect your accounts to it. So I have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube Shorts all connected to the platform. And then what happens is you can auto schedule these videos, like the 50 videos that you created, to go out every 2 days, every 12 hours, every 6 hours, whatever cadence you want. Yeah. And it automatically creates captions for each one of the platforms based on how the format is, right? So once I figure out how to do that, like I got content going out every single day, and I don't even got to post it.
Right.
I schedule it once. It takes me 10 minutes to do it, and then I have content for a whole entire month, and I'm just chilling. And my friends are like, "Oh, I love that video you made." I'm like, "Oh, which one? I didn't post it." You know what I mean? Yeah. And I look on there, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is a good video. Look how well it's performing." Yeah. So that's my process, and I feel like if everyone can just get like an iPhone, get like a small microphone, some decent lighting, anybody can make a video, make it look high quality, and get it out there with zero to little effort.
Very nice. No, I'll have to look into it, because I'll just post it up and go to the mall and start asking people real estate questions.
That's it, dude. Yeah.
I will.
As long as you have good lighting and a good microphone, you can make that content and let Opus Club do the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh, there you go. I just gave us an idea.
Yeah.
Let's go to one of these malls.
And just interview people. Go to International Mall.
Yeah, and just start asking people about real estate. You know, like who knows who you run into, and that's what I think is so cool. And let's be honest, in Tampa, there's a ton of people who have money because of real estate. So
that's true.
There's a new idea.
70% of millionaires are made from real estate in the U.S.
Oh, I believe it. I believe
just putting their name on deeds and appreciation, that alone will get you there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm late to the game.
Yeah. I like those videos too, the ones where they just go and interview people on the street.
Yeah.
And just say whatever. It's entertaining.
That's what I'm saying. Right. And like I said, like, you know me, I will go to anybody. Like, I have no shame. Oh, get away from me. Who are you? Oh, listen.
On to the next one.
Maybe I don't smell well enough,
Goldfish it. Next one.
Yeah. Next. Yeah, exactly. Squirrel? What?
And I like the other content idea you brought up. So podcasts, long form video, cut up the short term videos for like social media, and then you can post a long form video on YouTube. That's one good content type to post. The other one is interviewing people on the street. We can definitely try that out. That'll be a fun one too.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's a very popular content type right now. And then the third one that you also brought up before we started this video was doing like a reaction video. Like say you're scrolling and you find something, and then you just film your reaction and comment on it. So.
Yeah. I mean, my kids watch the reaction videos, so I'm very familiar with those. They'll watch someone react to like a Fortnite win or something. So yeah, that would be interesting to do. I wonder how I could tie that into real estate.
I think it's just the content that you're reacting to.
Oh, that's fair. Like real estate content of like somebody on TikTok or something, like Tampa Bree, who's crushing it, with her content.
That's right.
So that's true, yeah. But then, then people sometimes, you got to be careful what you say because some people, take that personal.
They get offended. Yeah, speaking of Tampa Bree, I think her content is also unique in the fact where like a lot of realtors, they'll hire like a high-end videographer and you like a listing video, talk about the neighborhood, talk about the square footage. But she just did the complete opposite, and she just like roasts the house, or roasts the owners,
yes,
and puts like a comedy spin on that.
yes.
Because let's be honest, I feel like if you're kind of doing the same thing as everybody else, it makes you a little bit more skippable, where people might scroll past you, right?
For sure, absolutely.
So where it is good to have those videos sometimes, I think you'd be much better off doing something, against the grain, doing something a little bit different.
Right, of course. I mean, listen. No matter all success, someone's not gonna like it, right? But clearly she's doing something right, so that's where you can learn from. And that's what people need to do. And again, that's how I'm learning, is I'm looking at the people who are successful with it, and I'm taking those tips that I'm learning and kind of teaching myself and applying it, and I'm seeing the results, to be completely honest. Like I'm nothing special, but I got 6 people watching the video here and there. And I'm like,
that's a start.
No, I'm kidding.
That's a start. That's it. I think, something I could suggest for you to do is to tie in some of your interests and personal life into your videos.
Yeah.
You've been incorporating your kids a little bit. I know you play football. I know you do CrossFit. I think it'd be cool to tie that in a little bit.
Yeah,
with your videos too.
Yeah, I do.
I know you got a crazy good handstand. I've been seeing those videos.
Yeah. Oh yeah, from the I could.
Just a suggestion.
No, I should. No, I should.
Because people want to know more about you, right?
Right, and trust me, I would bombard the internet with my kids, but then see, that's the thing. Is like for me, I still also I kind of put myself in the shoes of others, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm a viewer of Eddy's page or something, do I always want to see real estate stuff, right? So that's why I even try not to even post all that often about real estate, because I also don't want to drown people. Like that's not me either. Like
you come off too salesy like that.
Right.
If that's all you post.
Right. I'm not just a realtor. I'm Eddy Gibbs.
Yeah.
And I don't want that
Marine,
to be forgotten.
Father, athlete, you know what I mean?
Not even that. I'm your homie. You know what I mean?
And that too. Yeah, of course.
Most of the people that I'm associated with have a real relationship with me, at least in my opinion, right? So that's where I worry that I'm seen as somebody that I'm not, as that salesman. So that's one thing too that I think I battle is what is that right place of real estate, personal life where people aren't gonna. So I do need to post more personal stuff. So I agree with you there. I just got to find that good balance.
I think people like to see it. I've heard people succeed, and it depends on the platform. I feel like for Facebook, if you do 2 personal posts, 1 business, that's not too spammy. LinkedIn is probably all business. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
And then TikTok and Instagram, it's whatever you're known for. I feel like, you know what I mean?
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
But
I feel like Instagram, since it's owned by Facebook and it's an older demographic, I feel like it's, you could do a little bit more of the personal stuff. Maybe 2 business posts, 1 personal post, but you want to be entertaining. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
You want it to be either informative, entertainment, or funny, or hot. You know what I mean? That's the other thing. Or you're a hot girl.
I'm still working on the hot. I'm still working. I go to the gym.
Thirst trap, dude. You can take your shirt off, dude. You know what I mean?
Listen. No.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's funny, I have no issue taking my shirt off, but it's so funny you say that, because as a kid, one rule in my house, my dad would always say, "Don't take your shirt off."
That was a rule in the house?
You always had to wear your shirt. And my friends would come over, Eddy, why are we always why did your dad yell at us for having our shirt off?
It's funny that they had a problem about it.
And my dad's from the islands and everything, and they never wear shirts there. He's from Curacao, so that was weird. So it's funny. I go to the gym and all the guys, even the ladies, they're all taking their shirts off, and I'm here with my sweaty shirt still on, just subconsciously oh, I never take my shirt off. I'm good.
Yeah.
So it's so funny that you say that, because I think about that now, as almost a damn near 40-year-old man. I'm like,
what's funny to me is that your dad had a problem about it, and then it got to the point where your friends had a problem with your dad having a problem.
Because my friends were because listen, you got to realize this is early 2000s, so we got like 5 Xboxes all hooked up in one room.
You got the LAN.
Yeah, the LAN.
Halo 1 going on.
So it's hot as a mother.
Yeah.
So we're all in boxer
old
briefs.
boxy TVs running and stuff like that. Yeah.
Dude, it was a sauna, but we had a blast. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was a good
I remember those days.
Good.
That's before Xbox Live happened. That was the OG Xbox Live.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gaming with people.
Yes.
The LAN parties.
Good times, long nights, good memories. All right, well, talking about all that, what about like the market that we're in? Give us, you're the lender guy, the finances, kind of share, real quick, briefly, your idea of like the market we're in financially and like the benefits that buyers have right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest update I can give you is that the U.S. 10-year Treasury is at an all-time low. It's below 4%. And a lot of people are like, what does that mean for me, right? That means that interest rates are going to be really affordable for people. And the last time that the U.S. Treasury was at that point was back in September of 2024. So it's been over a year since we've had rates this low. So for a lot of people, now's a great window to buy a house. Interest rate wise, you're going to get a really good payment, right? And then a couple things regarding interest rates. Of course, the Federal Reserve. They're the ones that lower and increase interest rates for us. They're having a meeting today, and there is a 98% chance that they're going to cut interest rates. So great news there.
Let me ask you this real quick. Yes. As an outsider who's listening to this, where do you get this 98% number?
All right, so there's a website called FedWatch.
Okay.
And there's a lot of very skilled economists that have predictions on whether it's going to be, no changes to the interest rate, if they're going to reduce it by 25 basis points. A basis point is just a fancy way of saying like, based off of 1%, 1% would be 100 basis points, 0.25%.
Okay.
That would be like a quarter basis point cut. Right. So today they're going to do a quarter basis point cut, and there's a 98% prediction that it's going to be reduced by 25 basis points. And then for the next meeting that the Feds are having in December, there's also an 85% chance that they're going to have a 25-point basis cut. So between now and then, the federal interest rate is going to be reduced by 0.5%. And that's going to mean a couple of different things. Federal interest rates control car loans. So whenever you get a car, that's what controls that. If you have like a credit card, it's going to control like the rate on that. And if you have a student loan, a lot of times it can control that as well. Now, what a lot of people confuse is that federal interest rates are the same as mortgage rates, and that is a common misconception. A lot of people are like, oh, the Feds are going to cut rates. My mortgage is going to go down immediately. Not how it works, right? The U.S. 10-year Treasury is a more accurate indicator of where interest rates are going. Because if you take a look, the U.S. 10-year Treasury is at like 3.9 right now. If you add about like 1.5 to 2%, that puts us at like 5.5 to 6. That's typically where mortgage rates are today for a conventional loan. That's how we look at that comparison of U.S. Treasury to like mortgage interest rates, right? So what happens is the Feds cut rates, and a lot of time mortgage interest rates follow. They're correlated, but they don't move identically to one another. Right. So I just want to make that point out to people. So all that being said, with interest rates being lower, home prices becoming more affordable, and also, Q4, the quarter that we're in, historically, quarter 4 is when real estate slows down. For a number of reasons, right? The holidays are coming up. People are burned out. They're spending way too much money on their family, buying gifts and going out. And people are just kind of tired of the year. They're ready for the new year to start. So the last thing on a lot of people's mind is buying a house, right? So Q4, historically, a slower season with real estate. 2025 has been kind of odd.
It
you
know
has. What I mean? Transactions are down, right? Across the board.
I feel different. Well, my experience has been differently.
But for most agents, when you talk to them, right? Like, oh, it's up. I haven't closed a deal in like 8 months. You know what I mean? I'm not in the position where I think the market sucks. But historically, in terms of like mortgage applications and home purchases, we're down across the board.
I agree.
In that regard.
I just feel like this year though, like this time frame has been better than years past that I've experienced this time frame. So that's why I was just like, I feel like this is better than I experienced last year. Like I didn't feel like it was this active last year. At this time.
Last year was weird too, right?
So I mean, I'm happy where we are. Obviously, I would like us to be even better, but you know what I mean. This time of the year, I'm seeing things moving, but at the same time, you gotta be priced correctly.
That's it.
You know,
that's a big thing. Yeah,
I think that's most important. If you're priced correctly, you'll see things sell.
Yeah, guys, if you're selling a house, I got great advice for you. Listen to your realtor.
Yes.
Right, and you can go on a tangent about this. You told me a
Yes.
story about the house selling in 20 days with the
Yeah.
correct price. You want to tell the
actually,
viewers?
Yep. So I got a house under contract today as we speak. Earlier this morning.
Let's go.
So earlier, I was talking with you guys and shared that I specialize in for sale by owner. So as a for sale by owner, they had it on the market for I think $429K. I made an appointment to visit with them. We sat down. Everything went well. Their only pushback towards me was, "Hey Eddie, we want to be at 400."
Mm-hmm.
I made it very clear to them, "Hey guys, this home is worth $375,000. If we put it at this price, we will sell in 30 days." They couldn't do it. They said, we got to do 400K. I said, that's fine. Let's just put in the contract after 30 days based on the market's feedback.
Mm-hmm.
We'll adjust accordingly. They're like, all right, cool. So we're on the market for 30 days. And of course, we had some showings and stuff, no interest.
Mm-hmm.
So like, all right, Eddie, you're right. We'll change it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how today we're under contract.
Mm-hmm.
After changing it, day 31.
That's amazing.
So 1 day longer than what I told them. If we would have gone on the market on 375 for 30 days, it would have been under contract. But happy for them. It doesn't matter. There's always good news. 61 days under contract in this market. They got their asking price. So happy for them. It's going to a great family. But it's very important to come on the market at the right price, because I shared with them, imagine if we would have came on the market at 375, we would have got multiple offers, which would have then put them against each other, which builds demand, and then you get higher than that 375
That's right.
offer price, right? So again, happy ending, but it's funny, like when you do this for a living, you really do learn things. You really do know this market. So, again, I'm happy where we are.
Yeah.
So cool story, cool ending, and on to the next.
Listen to your realtors. Yeah. And like you said, I feel like a lot of people associate when a house has a longer, average days on market than the other house. People think like, oh, what's wrong with the house?
Absolutely.
Or maybe we shouldn't look at it, or maybe we can negotiate with them, and it just creates more problems. I know like average days on market are like, 40 or 50 days in, where we live in Tampa. But like you said, there's a lot of downsides to not listing the correct price as soon as it hits MLS.
You know why? And I hate to say this, it's get comfortable being uncomfortable. You know whose fault that is?
What's that?
Myself and my counterparts. It's the realtors.
Yeah.
Realtors are scared to tell sellers, your house is not worth this. Mm-hmm. And you'll have another realtor come behind the realtor who did tell them that, but then this other realtor has no business, right? Will take 1% from the seller and say, I can sell your house for $25K over asking price.
Right.
And that is killing the market.
Yes, it is.
And we're not holding each other accountable, because the agent that is like asking to see a showing needs to have a conversation, be like, hey, like you're 25K overpriced, right? Like, why are you on the market?
Yeah.
And then that agent needs to be like, oh, well, that's what they want. Well, have you had the conversation with them to let them know, like, hey, this is going to be the expectation? Is this what you're expect? Like, they need to know what you're getting into. And like that, those conversations aren't being had. And you see these homes on the market for, 120 days.
Right.
And they literally call the agent, any showings? No, we haven't had anyone call us asking anything about it. What are we doing?
Yeah, I wonder why.
Right. So it's just very important that we just need to hold ourselves to a better standard, the realtors. I'm going to include myself in there because I've done it before. But now I've learned, though, especially with this, like just put it in the contract. Hey, if XYZ is happening, we're going to make this adjustment.
Right.
Because it helps you and it helps you help them, because you're showing them like, look, we're going to try your way, but if and when it doesn't work.
I like that. Yeah.
So it helps. But again, the realtors, we have to be better at explaining to these sellers the market that we're in.
That's right.
So as soon as that happens, I think you'll also see prices adapting, homes not being on the market as long. Remember, a lot of these people who are selling bought at a peak too.
That's true.
So they're trying to, capture as much back. So it's where you say it's a weird market, that's what makes it really weird.
Yeah. The price went down because they just went up so high so quickly during COVID. and then it became very unaffordable to live here once everyone moved here. And now the locals are priced out of the market, and then rates shot up, and it was like a double whammy.
Yes.
Rates are too high, and then the cost of living is too high. And then not to mention last year, we had a pretty crazy hurricane season between like Helene and Milton.
Yeah.
And so many people were apprehensive about buying property and real estate in Florida because they wanted to see what this hurricane season was going to look like.
So funny you mentioned that. That's so for sale by owners, right? That's what I deal with and expires. I've been running into so many of those who are still dealing with last year's and like, we're not sure if we want to sell. We want to, they're literally waiting to see what's going to happen.
That's it.
It's so crazy that you mentioned that. It's so crazy. Like they still have yet to fix their homes because they want to see what happens now.
Yeah.
And then go from there. So it's those disasters really, hit the market and hurt some homes too.
Yeah, I mean, on the bright side, this year's hurricane season, there has been zero like landfall in all of September.
Right.
And I think even October is about to be over like pretty soon.
Yeah.
And there's been no hurricanes that made landfall.
And the rain hasn't been bad. I mean, we've had some showers. I mean, it's lightning capital, but like, no. Like, it doesn't even feel like it's hurricane season, to be honest. Like, typically in the news, you hear it every week. Oh, we got this name, that name. I'm hearing more about Atlas.
Yeah, the spaceship coming to Earth. With aliens.
Yeah, we got visitors.
That's right.
So,
yeah, and I think another thing that you mentioned that I thought was interesting was there's realtors out there taking a lower commission to get the sale. Well, what I would say to buyers and sellers that are working with realtors, you kind of get what you pay for.
Oh, 100%.
So if you get a realtor and they're offering you 1%, what are they really going to do to market your listing as opposed to someone that actually knows their worth, knows their value, and is a true professional, but charges a respectable rate for their profession and for their assistance, right?
Yeah, I there's always a ding-dong moment I have with sellers, and when they have a realtor who will be like, oh, well, this realtor told me that they'll do it for 1%, and like we're good to go.
Right.
And I was like, how easy was that negotiation for you? And she's like, oh, or they brag about it. Like, oh, it was so easy. Like, I had them folding right away. And I was like, interesting. So that's the person you want negotiating for your house? The biggest investment that you've ever had? That's the guy you want? That's the person you want fighting for you? Sorry if it was like, no guy, girl, whatever. That's the person you want, you know?
Right.
So, and I tell them straight, and I'm like, look, if that's what you want, that's fine. I was like, but I'm going to be completely honest. Like, that's not who I want in my corner.
Right.
But again, power to you. And also, I'm not going to just tell them what they want to hear. And also, there's a lot of people who do. But when you don't, you typically stand out.
Yep.
Doesn't always mean it's you stand out in a positive way. You may say, oh, I don't want to go with that person. He's telling me something different than everyone else, right?
Right.
But you always do stand out. So it's super important just to get right to it, straight to the point.
Yep.
No filter. Real estate's tough, but when you're transparent and genuine in this business, man, it's very rewarding.
Yeah, I think that's the way you should operate.
Yeah.
You're like a fiduciary for these people that you're representing. Yep. You have their best interest in mind, even if you're telling them what they don't want to hear.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
You're like a parent. You got to tell your kids what's good for them. Eat your vegetables, even though they want to eat candy.
Yep.
You can't eat candy all day, you're going to die. You know what I mean?
Yes, and it's...
You get diabetes.
Yeah, you can. It's crazy, too, because, like, some of these people, I'm like, hey, listen, and the thing is, I don't say it in a bad way. I'm like, hey, well, like, in 3-6 months, when the house doesn't sell, and I tell them, when the house doesn't sell, would you be totally against just, giving me a call back and really just hearing me out? And, like, they're like, they're always open to it.
Yeah.
So I won't say always, but, they're open to it. So you can't be scared to ask for business.
That's it.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's it. Yeah. And then going back to the market update, I think right now it's a good opportunity to buy because, one, rates are a little bit lower. They're lowest they've been since last September 2024. The other thing is there's more room for negotiating incentives for your clients. And I'll give you a couple of examples. I had a client that got like $20,000 of like a seller credit, which is crazy. That's kind of unheard of.
Yeah. What about the client that we're working with?
Yeah.
You saw the deal I got him?
You want to talk about that?
The house was $400K. What did we get it for?
$380.
Let's go.
That's right. And they pay your commission too.
Yep, exactly.
That's a big win right there.
So we were able to negotiate that down for one of our buyers, military veteran.
Yeah.
Shout out to the vets.
Actually, we had another client, the seller replaced the whole entire roof for the client that was buying the house.
Yep,
that's a big win too.
I did that one too. So
yeah, that was all you.
Yeah, we that was what, the end of September.
Yeah,
we closed on that one.
That's right.
Yep, Bruni.
Yep.
Was able to negotiate a full roof replacement.
That's some other
before
stuff
the
they
closing.
Fixed too, right?
Yes. But I got
standard.
a brand new roof.
But a brand new roof, that's a big ticket item.
Right. For asking price, brand new roof, and for them to pay my commissions. Save my buyers $20K plus on that one as well. So
that's a lot of money.
You got to get creative.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you would have tried doing this during COVID 2020 to like 2022,
oh man,
they would have laughed in your face.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And back then, that was a true seller's market. So people were buying houses, going into bidding wars, paying above asking by 50, 100,
they wouldn't even look at the home.
Yeah, they would waive appraisals, inspections, only look at like cash buyers. They wouldn't even look at the home. They were like writing letters to sellers to try to like get their like offer accepted.
Yes.
So what we're saying is that was a true seller's market. Right now is a true buyer's market with the year and also the season of Q4. So you can get some pretty sweet deals right now if you got the right people.
Right. The only problem is I think a lot of the buyers though, again, we're going to go right back to the realtors. The buyers are trying to offer $25K less on a home that's been on the market for 10 days. And this is again where the realtors have to step in and be like, look, we can't offer, it's been on the market for 10 days. Like these aren't the discounts that are coming in. Like we have to be a little bit more, because you're asking for a $25K discount, then asking for 3% closing costs, and then asking for them to pay your commission.
Right.
It's like, come on guys, we got to use our head a little bit here.
Yeah.
So
have no money left.
Yeah. You got to educate the buyers as well. And again, that's on the realtors, but I feel, we walk on eggshells because you don't want to lose the deal or lose this. And it's like, guys, they're in a contract with you. Like, stop being scared. Like, own your business. Like, you're the expert.
That's right. Not them.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, you could just explain to them and give the knowledge. And if you're doing a good job, at some point, they will get it.
Right.
And then put them in their shoes. Would you accept this offer?
Yeah.
Come on, Brian, I know you. I've known you for 3 years. I know you would not sell this home when you've been on the market for 10 days for $50K under asking. I know you wouldn't. Yes, I would. Brian, stop. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Once realtors hold the sellers accountable to sell it for the right price, the market will improve. If realtors can explain to buyers, you need to offer a reasonable price. Now, if it's been on the market 180 days, by all means,
get crazy.
Yeah, like 90 days, you can start to get creative.
They'll be happy to take your crazy offer.
90 days, start trying to get creative. Like that's what I would say. 90 days, I think, is a good time where if you want to start offering 25K less, go for it.
Yeah.
But too many people have this expectation. Your price point's $350, but you're shopping in $375.
Right.
Like, so that has to stop. And realtors they're the ones in charge of that. And again, I just too many walking on eggshells.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of realtors are walking on eggshells for a few reasons. Number one, maybe they're newer, less experienced in the business. Number two, they haven't sold anything in a couple months. They're starting to get desperate because they're running out of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great points, and it's probably true.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but that's the business we live. It's a dog eat dog world, and like there's so many fish to see in this business, but people don't see it that way.
Yeah.
They just don't. It's crazy because
there's
so many people that are looking to buy or sell real estate.
They're out there.
The number's endless. Like it really is.
There's someone out there that needs your help to buy a house.
Yes.
Yeah, that they can't do on their own because they're not a professional.
Yes.
Oh, and then number three, for why I think that happens to realtors in the market is, damn, I just lost my train of thought.
Oh, good.
It's all good. Take a quick breather. Oh, perfect. And then number three, for why I think realtors are taking those deals or reducing their commission or just like putting crazy offers out there is because there's probably a lot of part-time realtors that don't do this professionally. And I think the statistic was about 80% of realtors are like part-time, where they have other full-time jobs, or maybe they're like a stay-at-home parent.
Right.
And they just do it for fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
think those people are making it more difficult for the professionals to do their job accurately. Would you agree?
I would. Not not to say anyone who is not a full-timer is doing less work, but
Nothing wrong with that.
Right, but typically if you're working part-time, you're obviously not putting as much time into it, right? So your craft is not going to be as polished as, and again, some part-timers I'm sure are better than full-timers.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
But the majority, you would think, I think you have some validity to that.
Yeah.
Because, there's less practice, right? Because real estate, you're always practicing as well, in a sense, right? So I think that's true. I think that's a very valid statement. But the problem is you can't fix it, because that's what's so great about real estate is
it's just how it is.
You can make $15K on a vacation.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So and I mean, having that opportunity, can you blame them?
No.
You
can't.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, again, opportunity. Now it's what they put into that opportunity is what they're going to get out.
Right.
So, but I'm with you.
The only part about that rubs me the wrong way is that these part-time realtors who are inexperienced, that could potentially, ruin someone's experience with the real estate business, is that they're helping someone in a transaction acquire the most expensive purchase of their whole entire lifetime. And it's hard when, something falls apart based on some oversight that they maybe didn't see based on their lack of experience or professionalism. That's the only hard part for me. You know what I mean?
I get you, but to play devil's advocate,
sure.
We're beginners.
That's true. Yeah, I will say
that. So you got to make mistakes to learn. Now, it's those who learn from their mistakes are the ones who should be staying in the business.
That's it.
Compared to the ones who continue to make the same mistakes.
Yep.
So I'm with you. We've all made. I've made my fair share, but I'm with you. Like and the thing that's tough though, it's you have so many brokerages.
Yep.
And I don't care. I was in the Marine Corps. They have accountability. There's no accountability in these brokerages. Sorry, there's not. It's just
do what you want.
Go out there and make money, and we'll collect.
Yeah.
Like there's no real trainings. I don't care who says they do trainings. I know what real training is. I paid thousands of dollars for real training. Like I know what it is.
Right.
These places don't offer it.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but that's just the business we're in. So you really have to teach yourself.
Yeah.
And then you got to get lucky that you find someone who kind of like puts you under their wing too.
Yeah.
And they're out there. I got lucky. I found someone, so it helped me really pave the path for me. And, I try to be that person for anyone that I run into too.
Cool. I like that, man.
Yes, sir.
Moving on to the next thing I want to talk about, what have we been up to? And this can be like career stuff or personal life stuff. What have you been up to recently that you want to talk about?
Well, Grant, as much as I would love to go first, I think you have the best news of all. So I would love for you to start.
Okay.
And share the great news.
Yeah. So everyone's watching. Just want to make the news that I'm a dad for the first time in my life. Just had a beautiful baby boy born about a month ago. And just loving every second of it. Yeah. My wife, she's awesome. She's taking care of the baby. Best mom ever. And I'm just happy that finally at that point in my life where I'm starting a family.
Let me ask one follow-up to that. What is the first thought that you can remember after your baby was born? The first thought. It could be what's the first thought that you can remember?
Okay. So the story was I was woken up. There was 8 people in the room. I was sleeping on a cot with sunglasses and AirPods in.
Yes.
And they're like, Grant, wake up. It's time. And I was like, I need to get my life together.
Yes.
And then within like a short half hour, I was holding my baby in my hands. And the first thought I had in my hands, when I was holding him in my hands, was like, wow, this is like an exact replica of me. Like he looks just like me,
Yes.
Yes.
And
I'm like holding this life that I created in my hands. And now I'm going to know this person for the rest of my life. And I'm going to do everything that I can to protect them and give them a good future.
Oh, I love
it. That was the first thought that I have.
I love it. I love it.
What about you, man? I mean, you've had, 4 kids of your own now?
Oh, man, I'm so old.
Do you remember that thought about your first kid and what you thought when that first happened?
Gianna, I remember. Dude, it was so, like I was just like, what is going on? I was like, oh, my gosh, like a baby girl. And, I mean, what I know now that I didn't know then is like how to be a father. Like being a father now to being a father then, oh my God, it's night and day. And, not the, say I'm a bad dad. It's just like with age, you just do things so differently. You have so much more patience.
Yep.
You're wiser. You're not, I was 24 years old out of the military. Like, think about my mindset, and like what's important to me,
right?
Compared to like now where I have a 3-year-old, it's a night and day. So crazy. I just could not believe that I brought a little girl in this world.
Yeah.
But looking back on it, man, fatherhood, I wouldn't change it for anything. Like, I appreciate it so much more now. Like, it's crazy, even just looking back on it.
That's it.
It's nuts. Yeah. But you're in for a ride. It's going to be fun. But outside of the baby, what else do you have going on? Please do share.
Yeah. To all the people that don't know, I have a band, and we actively play concerts and release music. We just had a song come out last week called Rooftop, and it already got accepted by a bunch of different playlists.
Okay.
It's up to like 2,000 plays already. It's
only
been out for like a week.
Okay.
So right now we're just promoting the song, getting like video content out there, and looking to play our next show once like the dad life stuff kind of like gets more into place. Yep. So there's that. Another thing I've been doing with work, I've been focusing a lot to help people refinance their mortgage and save some money. We had a client last week. We refinanced them, and they're saving $500 a month now.
Oh,
on their mortgage payment.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. That's $6,000 a year that they're saving. Right? That's like a car bill, like a power bill, a family vacation at the end of the year.
Yeah,
that's huge, right?
$6,000.
Yeah. So with the U.S. Treasury, the 10-year Treasury being where it is, really good opportunity for existing homeowners to refinance and save some money, in the short term and also in the long term, because that adds up to like $10,000s, $100,000s of dollars,
right.
With interest and mortgage insurance over 30 years. Aside from that, I'm very active in the investor community. I have a lot of investors. I'm helping them structure their deals. A lot of times they have like this, crazy idea of what they want to accomplish, but they don't really know how to get there. I'm helping them structure that, structure like hard money financing for maybe it's a fix and flip, like a rehab loan.
Okay.
Maybe it's like a ground up loan and they want to turn it into like a rental or like an Airbnb or like a pad split and they don't know how to get there. I'm helping them structure the financing for that. That's been a lot of fun. And then I'm in a mastermind group. Shout out to James Lascara for the Elite Investor Mastermind Group. We are working on a group development project, which I thought was really interesting. We are all going to go in and invest on a house that we're building over here in the Plant High School district. It's going to be probably like a 2-story, 3,000 square foot, 4-bed, 3-bath house. And we're all going to be into the development. We're going to have some financial commitments and also a role to play throughout the whole entire process.
Sounds awesome.
Hopefully I can get into that. We have to put like a form in and submit our application. But that's a really good way to get into developing and real estate investing like I've always wanted. So I'm very excited about that.
That sounds amazing. Well, if you guys need some color in the group, give me a call.
That's it. Yeah, I love it.
That's awesome, though. Well, good luck on that adventure. That sounds amazing. I'm definitely, when the time comes, I'm definitely going to get into the investment business myself. I just need to.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Sooner than later.
That's how I build true wealth.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. Oh,
investment or business.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I'm with you. So my home that I'm living in, that my goal is only being in it for 5 years and then turn it into a rental.
Yeah.
And September 19th was 1 year.
Yep.
So we're 20% of the way there.
There you go.
And it's going to be on the market for rent.
And that community is still getting built up.
So it's almost done. Actually, there's like 3 more homes that are for sale and it's done. I saw them literally working on the gate to close the gate to let you in and out. Yeah. So that tells me, it's just a matter of time and then we're done. No more homes. Shoe fly don't bother me.
Yeah.
So
and you're in an area that's getting built up.
Right.
Really quickly.
And it's already pretty much built. Like like everything from my home is 5 to 7 minutes away.
Yeah.
Like it's phenomenal.
I love that.
And it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. So like that's going to rent out easy. And then behind me is just like a little woods with a trail. So you have no back neighbors.
Right.
So it's nice. Love it. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Great little community.
That's awesome. What else you got going on right now at work or in your personal life?
Well, like I told you, we got under contract on 1 home today.
There you go.
I have 2 other homes in contract. 1 you're a part of with me. And then I have another listing, which was an expired. So they were on the market. Were overpriced, didn't sell. Same situation. The agent just was not brave enough or whatever from what they told me. Brave enough to tell them that they were overpriced. So they sat on the market, no feedback. So then when I told them what it would sell for, and then they listened to me, boom, we got it. We actually got, so we were listed for 330 and we sold for 340. So we got 10K over asking.
There you
so
go.
even on the selling side, we're making it happen. So I was happy with that.
Nice. Very nice.
And then let me see what else. Do I have a couple appointments coming up, helping some buyers. Nothing too crazy. I'm trying to think. I know I have something big coming up, and I can't even remember it. And see, it shows you how big it is because I can't remember.
You got any competitions you're doing anytime?
No, it's Maddox's birthday. That's
Maddox's
what it
birthday.
Yes,
yeah.
my youngest, his birthday, November 17th. That's coming up. So I got to figure out what I need to do. He's obsessed with Scooby-Doo, Garfield, like the weirdest stuff, like Ninja Turtles.
Old school cartoons.
Yes. He's been watching some old school from his older siblings. So just going to be dealing with that. But just a lot of prospecting, a lot of appointments. That's what I'm always doing.
Just getting after it.
Dude, I love it. I love it. It's fun. Hanging out with you.
That's it.
You know,
doing this is pretty cool.
Yep. Gotta do more social media. I get a lot of people that
you're doing it.
I'm trying.
You're
people
doing
are reaching
it.
out. They're like, Eddie, you're doing good. Keep it up. Like you're hilarious. Like, so
this is gonna be another good feather in your cap.
Yeah, it's nice to hear because it's motivating and like, let's go.
I like it. All right, man. Well, you want to plug yourself real quick? Give them your contact information.
Sure.
If someone wants to reach out.
Yep. Name's Eddy Gibbs. You can find me. Instagram's easiest. Eddy.Gibbs. Eddy with a Y. And then, you don't need my number. You'll find it on there.
There you go. I love it. Yeah.
Easy.
And once again, my name is Grant Lee with CMG Home Loans. You can find me at 813-618-9095. Social media, Grant Lee Team. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you later. Peace.